lights up?
Yes, please. All right. Here you go. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I hope you can. Hello, my name is Aziza Abdiva. I'm an artist, and today is a live reveal of the artwork that I've been working on since the beginning of the year. And it's finally the time to reveal the artwork. I just want to make it special. That's why I'm gonna turn on some music. Let's see if I can arrange that. Yeah, maybe let's just do like a. Can you also maybe join my live? Check if the sound is working. I hope it does because I'm using my phone as my microphone. That's cool. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, I'll get off the live and do another thing though. It seems to be working.
That's really cool. Can you bring it over here, baby? Thank you.
Let me go check if the sound is working. Well, if I do that, I'll lose that.
I'm sure it's working fine. At this point, it is what it is. I'm just gonna roll with it. Can I have my coffee, please?
Thank
you. No. We are live from my studio. This is where I've been working this whole entire time. And I thought revealing it in my studio would be appropriate. Let me move you closer. Oh yes, like that. I finished working on this piece yesterday. I call it success because last time, with my last reveal, I finished working on the piece just before the reveal. And so we are making some progress. Working on this piece was such a pleasure. I realized that this season, this Albedo season, has been a season of looking in. And that's what I did. I looked in so hard and created this piece. This whole entire Albedo season was like a season of just being heart-led, listening to my heart, and showing up every day. Showing up every day in the studio, working on this piece. My idea was working on this piece during the daytime. So there was no nighttime routines, just daytime. And so the energy is really different. The energy is really different because of that. And so I'm very excited to release this artwork today. Nice. Let me just pick through. Let's see how it's doing. I think it's doing pretty good. Just building the suspense for the sake of suspense. Makes me excited. Okay. Why don't we take deep unifying breath just to lock in together in the count of, let's take a deep breath in and out. Oh, it's been a long week and finally we are here. I'm so happy to see you here today. Thank you for being here. And I'm so happy to release this artwork today. Um, I'm just like feeling a little bit nervous, it's like the feeling when you're been working on something for way too long and now it's finally time to release it out to the world, and like there is this sense of nervousness happening in me. And working on this artwork was like how can I say, working on this artwork felt like with all of my artworks, it's like it comes from within, but for this one I tapped in to my heart space. I tapped into the heart space because I believe that the Albedo is the stage of the heart. If my previous artwork it felt like a womb. It happened in the womb space. The creation happened from the womb space energy. But with this one, it came from the heart. It flowed from the heart. And you'll understand what I mean.
Do you want my help?
No, it's okay. I'm just gonna lift the veil. Okay. Ta-da! I'm now realizing that it's just like triangle. So let's turn off the light. Yes, let's turn off the light so you can better see it.
Still just a triangle.
Still okay. Maybe that means you wanna come see it in real life. Here you go. Here you go. Yes. Can I have a chair? Thank you. Thank you, baby. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. It's what time is it in here? It's 8:15 a.m. in Cedar City, Utah. I don't know what time is it in the other part of the world, but welcome to this beautiful morning in this part of the world. Uh, my face is kind of like. Wait a second. Let's just do this. How about that? Yes, that's better. I like that you can see my face, but then it like kind of overshadows the artwork. Baby, can you move the light like this? I just over here, like over to the side. No, 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 over to the side. Move it. Okay. Well, I just gotta choose either my face or my art, so I'm gonna choose my art.
We could lower this down.
Yeah, let's lower that down. Ah, thank you. Whoa.
That's
I don't know why.
1%.
Yeah, let's just turn it off because I can't really like see what's happening here at this point. Yeah, yeah. I guess the star of the day is my artwork, so let's keep it that way. Here she is.
What's the name?
I was thinking naming it Purifying Heart. You know the and let me um, elaborate why I felt called for such a name. So in alchemy, um, after the Nigrero stage, after the first stage, comes the Albedo, and this artwork belongs to the Albedo stage of the transformation. So if Nigrero was the stage of the death, you know, was the stage of the blackness, the darkness, the stage of being in the womb, the stage of creation within the womb, like transformation within the womb, then the albedo is the stage of what happens afterwards. What happens after the destruction? What happens after the death? Not like literal death. I'm talking about the death that happens uh, of your identity after some situations in your life where you have to say goodbye to your old self for the new self to emerge. And the albedo is the stage when the new self emerges. New self emerges from the space of being like, okay, I survived the destruction. Now, now I get to, um, create, step into my new version of myself. And that could mean, how can I say? I feel like the Albedo stage is the stage where you tap into your heart, and you move through tapping into your heart. It's the stage where you, after the destruction, you come to yourself and do the work, because I feel like Albedo is the most hardworking stage, because within that stage you get to choose what you are not taking with you anymore, uh, what you are letting go of, that no longer needs, that you no longer need. And that could be really hard, because saying goodbye to old patterns, saying goodbye to, um, old version of yourself, so saying goodbye even like to some friendships that don't serve you anymore, not in a sense like it's that's not good for you anymore. And so it's like the stage where you are saying goodbye um, to the old. That's why this stage is the stage of purification. And the only way to do it, I feel like, is through heart, through tapping into your heart. Because when you tap into your heart, you truly understand like what is good for you and what is bad for you. Through tapping into your heart, you understand like, okay, and I understand that this is hard for me to let go of, but I need to let go of it. Because I love myself. I want myself to be better. I want myself to evolve. I want myself to, be in a better space. And for different people, it's different things to let go of. But like the idea of letting go of things, leaving them behind, things that you don't need anymore, that you no longer need. And so like, and so this is the stage where you have to make hard decisions, but it's actually easy, because like it actually becomes easy when you tap into your heart. It actually becomes like super easy, because like you're like making decisions like from this space of heart, from the space of like unraveling, like, because I feel like the heart space is like the most powerful space we have in our entire system. It's like it literally runs us. Like without the heart, like we are not alive. It literally sustains like every single part of our body, and it's like energetically really charged. And like from the heart, this is where you experience such things as um, love, bravery. And this is the heart. The heart is the space where you uh, why it's fear alchemy, right? This is this space where you transmute your fear into bravery. This is the space where you transmute your fear into love. This is the space where you transmute something that holds you down and like something to expand you. It's like it's like a perfect mechanism for the human body. It sustains us physically, but also spiritually sustains us and makes us to evolve and like to bring uh, to overcome some obstacles, to overcome the fear, to transmute the fear and bring out something expansive within us. And so yeah, I feel like after going through the destruction, after going through the death, right? This is it. This is where it all starts. Starts from the heart. And um, at the center of the artwork, I choose to put in the heart, and from the heart, it all flows out. And to showcase that, I tapped into the wisdom of my culture, of the Kyrgyz culture, the wisdom of the patterns. You know how alchemy is heavy with symbolism. That's why I really like it. That's why I really enjoy it. And my culture, Kyrgyz culture, is the same way. My culture is loaded with symbolic language. Every pattern has their own meaning. Every pattern has its own symbolic nature to it. This is how the knowledge would be uh, passed down from generations to generations through the patterns. And the knowledge that can be only understood within the community, within the the family. It's like a secret language, the secret language that alchemists use to pass down their knowledge to their apprentices, to save the knowledge, to preserve the knowledge. The same type of way Kyrgyz people used with the Kyrgyz patterns to pass down the knowledge, to pass down the um, the messages. That's how the mothers would send the messages to their daughters by selecting specific patterns, by selecting specific um, combinations of patterns, and it's like tapping into the um, the art of it, the creativity of it all, and creating specific meanings. And so that's how I see the connection between them, connection between the alchemy and connection between my culture, is the notion of the symbolic language, is the notion of the uh, you know this language that is like can be understood only within that community. But as a modern alchemist, I'm gonna claim that like I am the artist alchemist. This is what I do. And this my studio is my alchemy lab. And this is the art is the creation that came from it, is a transmutation that came from it. So I am the modern alchemist and I am the Kyrgyz artist. So combining both of this together was like it felt like I was born to make this art. I was born to create this art because I feel like only I could create this art because of my heritage and because of my deep interest in alchemist and me being the artist alchemist. Combining all of this together, I feel like I was truly meant to create this art. And I'm so happy to like release it to the world, like so you could also see it, like you could also like understand it, you could also like feel it. And me as like a Kyrgyz artist, an artist alchemist, is here to translate the messages, because it's all the secret language that the alchemists were using and the secret language that the Kyrgyz people were using. And I'm here to translate that secret language to you. Bringing it all together and like sharing that with you. Mhm. How did you make it? That's a really good question. A great question. How did I make it? It was the whole entire process. And I feel like for me to make this art, I had to tap into my, you know, my, I don't know how to describe it because like making this art felt really different. I felt like I was like really like I felt like I was in the lab, you know, how that's why after this artwork, I'm like, I'm truly an artist alchemist. Because for me to create this art, it required a lot of like measuring, a lot of thinking, planning, a lot of experimenting, mixing, like lots of different things. I made this artwork. So making this artwork felt like really like I looked in, and I was like really calculative, really precise. As you can see, this artwork is really precise. It's like the detail. Excuse me, the details. I wish you could see it like super close and up person because the details like always like fascinate me. Look at him. Look at the details. So you see this material over here. It's all salt. I mixed. It's basically salt. I mixed resin with the salt, and that's how it has this like structure. And I put it was the whole entire process. If you're interested how I made this artwork, I would recommend you to check out my YouTube videos because this is where I share my process. This is where I share my journey of making the videos. But like long story short, I made it from the salt, the resin, the mold, lots of different things, bringing it all together. That's why I felt like I was in the lab because it was a lot of measuring, you know, a lot of like mixing chemical materials like resin, like silicone, like salt. Yeah, I felt like a chemist. Like that's why I felt like really appropriate wearing this outfit too. You know. All right. Let me just bring it closer to you. Maybe like a little bit closer like this. How about that? So you could see the heart. How about that? Beautiful. Yeah. I like that it's like it's totally different energy than my last artwork. I love that I shifted with the new season. My art, my creation process also shifted. If my previous artwork was like raw, like really raw, you know, natural materials, here I'm like really precise. Here like I'm always like really planning it out. This artwork, for me to create this artwork, required a lot of planning. And so, you know, I'm so proud of myself for seeing it through, for planning it through. Yes. I realized like I also like working this way. I realized I like planning. I realized I like scheduling. It's like I knew that, but like this season I really tapped into that part of myself. I was like, I'm gonna look in. I'm gonna plan when I'm gonna be in the studio. I'm gonna plan what materials I'm gonna use. I'm gonna plan how much materials I'm gonna use. It was like very calculated in the line with Albedo because like I believe that the Albedo season is the season of the Capricorn. Let me claim that because to do this type of work, it's like you gotta be like, okay, you know, I gotta look in, I gotta sit down, I gotta like do this and show up every day, and that's how it was for me going through this season. Yes, let me just come closer. Basically, what I created is like a transmutation triangle. Do you see that? The way I even got into alchemy was through the Full Metal Alchemist. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that anime, but in that anime, they use like, it was like the first episode, and I was like, whoa, what is this? And it like got me in. So basically, when they would be transforming one thing into another, they would create like this type of like transmutation circles, and within the circles they would like use this symbolic language, this like triangles, circles, and squares, and like lots of symbols, and like intuitively understood that it was like meant, it was carrying a lot of like meaning, it was carrying a lot of like the symbology to it. And I was like really attracted to it. It was like, whoa. And then like I started finding out, realizing that all of those symbols, all of those patterns, they carried something deep within them. And that really reminded me of my Kyrgyz culture too, of my culture too, because like the way traditional rugs are designed, they also have like the outer layer, protection layers, and then they go within, and whatever, and depending on the patterns you select, you charge your artwork that way. And it's like pure magic, like, and by selecting the patterns, by selecting the shapes and forms, you create the meaning, you create the charged artwork, you create the portals. The same goes with the alchemy too, when they create their transmutation circles, when they want to transmute one thing into another. And so like mixing those together like that, it felt like I'm truly creating a transmutation triangle here. And the transmutation triangle here transmutation triangle here goes like, I don't know if you can like understand it, but like it starts with the heart, right? It starts with the heart. Let me come closer. It starts with the heart. When you tap into your heart source, and this pattern right over here is the pattern of a well. And so these two together, the well and the heart together, coming together, tapping into your heart, tapping into that space, and and your heart is like a well, and it's like flows out, and then comes the waves. In Kyrgyz culture, it's called itkuruk, but the meaning of it is like an infinity. It's like ever-flowing flow, the rhythm of the life. And then it is protected by the mountains, triangles, mountains. You know how the mountains are the source of like the stability, the source of protection, but at the same time it's also the source of enrichment and nourishment, because uh, from the mountains, from the top of the mountains, the water flows down and nourishes everything on its way, the plants, the animals, the humans. You know, it's a source of protection, source of nourishment. And afterwards, this pattern is, the name of this pattern is khayal. Khayal is a dream. Khayal is an inspiration. You know, and the farthest line, this one is very ancient pattern. It's a combination of patterns, actually. Let me come closer and show it to you. It's the combination of patterns. We have the head over here, and we have the comb. So both of this together, meaning like brushing your hair. By physically brushing your hair, you also spiritually, mentally brush it. So it clarifies, takes everything that's not needed away. So you, and it's like this whole entire composition, it's about like uh, tapping into your heart and purifying everything within it. That's why I named it Purifying Heart, because your heart is the source, is the only like source that can purify the fear, transmute the fear, and turn the fear into bravery, turn your fear into love, turn your fear into expansion, turn your fear into something more expansive than the fear. It just purifies it, purifies it from everything that doesn't need it within that space. You know how fear makes you contract it, right? But the only heart that makes can make you expand, like, and purify everything. Yeah. And so yeah, that's why it is purifying heart. Yes. And because I used the salt, you know how salt is like a purifying material. You know how salt is like a material of, it's a great material, you guys. Like going to the salt flats, it really inspired me to use salt here. And putting it all together with the resin, it made me feel like just by standing next to it, I can feel the energy of it. It's like the purifying energy of it. It's basically the huge transmutation triangle. My idea was that people can come next to it and just feel the energy of it, feel the transmutation. Yeah, feel the change. Yeah, Khayal means the dream. Khayal means the fantasy. Uh, I think, yeah, that's about it. I hope that you can see it live in person. Like I can see it from the screen, but it's like, and I see it in real life, it's not, it just doesn't capture the depth of it, you know? So you gotta come here and see it in person. And the way you do that, it happens, it's gonna be exhibited at the St. George Museum of Arts the fall 2026. The opening is September 5th, and I'm gonna give my artist talk on the September 12th. So make sure to catch me on my artist talk or the opening date. And I'm gonna be, um, visiting the museum throughout the season, but I would definitely recommend you coming and seeing it in person. Feel it in person. Because that's how I feel like this artwork needs to be felt in person. So I'm gonna be waiting for you at the opening, September 5th, 2026. And if this artwork resonated with you, I'm gonna leave the link downstairs. Make sure to subscribe to my email list. I'm gonna be sending when this artwork is gonna be available for purchase, and I'm gonna be announcing more things like merch, limited editions. So stay updated. Thank you for being here. Thank you for witnessing the reveal. I love you, and see you at the next reveal. This was Aziza. Thank you for being here. Bye. Bye 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 bye.